Because if you can't feel safe in your own community, what are we supposed to say to our young people and our women and our wives and daughters and sons? You know, we have to fix this. And the NDP have had 8 years, and it's never been less safe than it is today. We're going to make sure that we put the interests of public safety ahead of the rights of a criminal to reoffend and be back in the community.
So please, with your support my good friends here. Support Japreet, because he's exactly the kind of youth and experience and education that will make your community proud, make me proud, make our province proud. Because when you elect good people, you get good results. And Amrit will be the same in Delta North. Amrit, I really want you to win in Delta North, because you know what? I want to make sure that we get someone elected there that actually knows a thing or two about housing, so that we can fix the housing challenges, not make them worse like this government's doing.
So as Komal mentioned already, I'm a lawyer by profession. I've worked for a multinational corporation, BC's biggest law firm, and currently I'm working for a downtown law firm where I resolve the legal issues that British Columbians face every day. I was born and raised in Surrey, actually at Surrey Memorial Hospital. I've seen how the community has changed. I remember when BC Liberals were in power and there was happiness, prosperity, and success for all. Under the BC NDP, unfortunately, those things are not a reality anymore. There's been a downfall in terms of the crime level has risen, the quality of life has decreased, the cost of living has been increasing, and healthcare is in shambles. So when you bring us in power, when we form government, we will ensure that we're fixing those issues. Just like as a lawyer, I'm winning cases, achieving success for my clients. Similarly, we'll ensure that when we form government, we will work for British Columbians every day and resolve the issues that you're facing in terms of rising crime, rising cost of living, and the healthcare mess. We'll ensure that we fix those issues and the mess that BC NDP has created. Once again, I want to thank you all for coming here, for your valuable time, and we really appreciate you. And we believe that you also believe in a vision of prosperity and success that BC United is introducing and will achieve once we're in power and once we form government. So मैं पंजाबी ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਤਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਏ, ਆਪਣਾ ਕੀਮਤੀ ਵਕਤ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਤੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਵॉलंटियर्स ਦਾ, मिस कोमल सिद्धू मेरी कैंपेन मैनेजर, मिस्टर काहिन सेखों राइडिंग प्रेसिडेंट, एंड वॉलंटियर्स एज वेल एज मेरे फेलो कॉलीग कैंडिडेट मिस्टर अमृतपाल सिंह टोट, एंड स्पेशल थैंक्स टू मिस्टर कैविन फैल्कन ਜਿਹੜੇ कि ऑफिशियल ऑपोजिशन ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਹਨ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ BC ਯੂਨਾਈਟਿਡ ਦੇ ਵੀ। ਸੋ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਮਿਸ ਕੋਮਲ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਪੇਸ਼ੇ ਵਜੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਕੀਲ ਹਾਂ। ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮਲਟੀਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਡਾਊਨਟਾਊਨ ਲਾਅ ਫਰਮ ਲਈ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਜੋ ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਅਨਸ ਦੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਮਸਲੇ ਹਨ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੁਲਝਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਲ ਲੱਭਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਤੇ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣਾਵਾਂਗੇ BC ਯੂਨਾਈਟਿਡ ਦੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਸਲੇ ਨੇ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਵੱਧ ਰਿਹਾ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਹੋਵੇ, ਵੱਧ ਰਹੀ ਮਹਿੰਗਾਈ ਹੋਵੇ, ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਿਹਤ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿੱਕਤ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਸਲਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਹੱਲ ਲੱਭਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਹੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ, ਮੈਂ ਸਰੀ ਦਾ ਹੀ ਜੰਮ ਪਲਿਆ ਜੀ। ਸਰੀ ਮੈਮੋਰੀਅਲ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ 'ਚ ਮੇਰਾ ਜਨਮ ਹੋਇਆ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਮਾਣ ਤੇ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੰਸਟੀਚੁਐਂਟਸ ਤੋਂ, ਸਾਡੇ ਰਾਈਡਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ, ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਤੋਂ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ। ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਭਵਿੱਖ ਸਿਰਜਾਂਗੇ ਐਜ਼ ਅ BC ਯੂਨਾਈਟਿਡ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ। ਐਂਡ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਦੀਆਂ ਗਹਿਰਾਈਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ। ਤੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੋਣ ਜਾਂ ਸੁਝਾਅ ਹੋਣ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦੱਸਿਓ ਜੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਮਿੰਗਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਫੈਲਕਨ ਲਈ ਹੋਵੇ ਕੋਈ ਸਵਾਲ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। Well, thank you very much. Thanks to your team, and thank you, Japreet, for that kind introduction. Isn't it great to see a young, educated lawyer from the South Asian community as the next MLA to replace Harry Baines in Surrey-Newton? He will be great. He will be great. And I want you to know something. I, as the Leader of the Opposition, this is my former riding. I was the MLA for Surrey-Cloverdale for 13 years. And I want to remind everybody what the BC Liberals did for Surrey while I was in government. We widened number 10 highway to 4 lanes. We widened 176th Street to 4 lanes. We built the Surrey Memorial Hospital Tower, $500 million delivered on schedule, on budget. That was your BC Liberal government. We built the Jimmy Patterson Outpatient Health Center, $250 million. We built the Port Mann Bridge, the 10-lane Port Mann Bridge, the South Fraser Perimeter Road, the $1.2 billion improvement to transportation here in Surrey. Why do I mention that? Because we need to get back to electing politicians that get results, that don't just promise things, they deliver results. And that's what a Kevin Falcon-led BC United government will do with great candidates like Japreet, like Amrit and others that are going to be focusing on getting results for all of you. Why do we need that? Because after 8 years of NDP government, they have more than doubled the debt of the province to over $100 billion. We are facing the largest projected deficits in the history of British Columbia. We've never seen deficits like this ever in the history of British Columbia. But the problem is, all that spending and all that debt is tied to the worst outcomes we've ever seen in healthcare. Our healthcare system is near collapse. If you go to Surrey Memorial Hospital or Peace Arch Hospital, it's very, very bad right now. We have to fix that, and we will fix that. It won't happen overnight, but we will fix it. We've got to fix our transportation system so that we don't see a government replacing the Patalo Bridge, which is 80 years old, a 4-lane bridge built in 1938, and the NDP government's replacing it with a 4-lane bridge. No, that should not be a 4-lane bridge. It should be an 8-lane bridge so that we can adjust for the growth in Surrey. We're going to make sure that the Massey Tunnel, which should be a 10-lane bridge that the BC Liberals, now BC United, that we announced that we were going to build in 2016, and all the work was ready to go. We had the contract in place, and the NDP canceled that bridge. That bridge would have been open 2 years ago. 2 years ago, that all of us could have been using. And so whether it's transportation or healthcare or crime in our streets, we just saw the statistics come out. 4 of the 6 cities with the highest crime in Canada are right here in British Columbia. That's what's happened under this government. We are going to hold criminals accountable. We're going to make sure they stay in jail where they belong so that you can be safe with your families in your own community right here in Surrey. That's what we're going to do for all of you. But to do that, we need your support. Because I can tell you right now, we've got big challenges in agriculture. We need a government that says, we're not going to put restrictions on you so that you can't have multi-generational homes on your farms. We're going to make sure that our farmers have a chance to succeed. We're going to eliminate the provincial fuel taxes so that you can save 15 cents a liter every time you fill up your car or truck. That's how we're going to help reduce costs for families. This government's added 33 new or increased taxes in 8 years. We're going to start taking away some of those taxes and make life more affordable. Because until we do that, we are going to continue to see young people moving out of British Columbia, going to Alberta, going to other provinces. I want to bring our young people home to British Columbia. This is the place where you should be raising a family and building a future, right here in British Columbia. With the right leadership, we can make that happen. But I want you to remember this. Do not think and worry about things like polls. I was talking to our friend from the Congress Party in India. What happened in the election there? The polls said that Modi was supposed to win a landslide. He didn't win a landslide, did he? In Europe, they said the extreme right was going to win a big election. They came third. The polls were wrong. I want you to know this. BC Liberals, now BC United, we have always been the party and the government that has delivered for British Columbians, and we will deliver again with your support. We will deliver again. And so, my friends, I thank you for coming out here, but I ask you this. We need you to be involved in making sure we win the next election. This community can decide which way this election goes. In Surrey, there is no more important community than the South Asian community, a community that I have been proud to work with for over 30 years. I have friends, many of them are here today, that I have known for decades. And the reason why we work well together is because they know that when I say we're going to do something, we do it. When I said we were going to build that new Portman Bridge, even though the NDP was opposing me, we built that bridge. When I said that we were going to build that hospital, and I announced that in 2009, that we were going to build that big, new, beautiful tower at Surrey Memorial Hospital with the Guru Nanak Emergency Department, no, they said, oh, he won't do it. We did it, and we got it built. And when I get elected, I want you to know this. We're going to build another tower right beside the existing tower, and we're going to make sure that we get more beds, more doctors and nurses working to look after all of us right here in the fastest growing community in the country. So please, with your support my good friends here. Support Japreet, because he's exactly the kind of youth and experience and education that will make your community proud, make me proud, make our province proud. Because when you elect good people, you get good results. And Amrit will be the same in Delta North. Amrit, I really want you to win in Delta North. Because you know what? I want to make sure that we get someone elected there that actually knows a thing or two about housing, so that we can fix the housing challenges, not make them worse like this government's doing. And so with your support and your backing, we're going to win this next election. I'm here to tell you that Kevin Falcon is going to be the next Premier of British Columbia with your support. Thank you for coming out today and supporting this great candidate. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for that energy, Kevin, as always. And your speech is inspiring to all of us. We really appreciate those words and the promises and the solutions that we're going to bring to British Columbians when we form government.
Thank you, Kevin, and Japreet, you are here, and you feel relieved that stalwart in the Indo-Canadian community, Harry Baines, is not running anymore. So it clears the field for you. How you feel about that?
Well, Professor Sidhu, first of all, hello to all the viewers of this channel and to yourself. I think that we were, regardless of if Mr. Baines is going to be running or someone else, we were ready to fight in that riding and to win. So for me, it does not matter if it's Mr. Baines or someone else. We want to bring change. We will deliver on reducing crime, on making BC affordable again, safe and secure, and fixing the healthcare mess.
So what do you hear on the doors when you go door knocking? How many you knocked so far, and what are you hearing on the street?
Well, we've knocked on hundreds of doors, and what we're hearing from people on the doors is that they want change. They want BC United in power, and they're fed up with the people leaving this province, facing crime on the streets. People are afraid to let their children go out because they're worried, there's going to be a shooting or someone's, some other tragedy can occur. So they want change, and they don't want us to be sitting in hospitals for 12 to 15 hours and not being able to find a family doctor. All these things they're telling me at the door, and we have the solutions for that.
Thank you.
Because I thought of something that he said that's so important. We just saw a young man stabbed to death in Surrey the other day. In Vancouver, 3 people were stabbed by a random stranger, all in the same day. We saw the terrible case in South Surrey of Tori Dunn, a young mother that was attacked and killed in her own home in a home invasion by an individual that just a week before had stabbed somebody and was released by this NDP government back onto the streets immediately. This is just unacceptable, and it's affecting all of us, because if you can't feel safe in your own community, what are we supposed to say to our young people and our women and our wives and daughters and sons? We have to fix this, and the NDP have had 8 years, and it's never been less safe than it is today. We're going to make sure that we put the interests of public safety ahead of the rights of a criminal to reoffend and be back in the community.
Thank you very much. So, Kevin, you're going around and seeing in the South Asian community, and today Japreet's event here. How you feel as a leader of opposition and a leader of BC United?
Well, I feel confident because the reception we're getting as I travel around the province is very strong. There's no question that there is a mood for change right now. The NDP government has had 8 years. People have seen the results. We've got some of the highest crime rates we've ever seen, and we see what's happening with our healthcare system. We got lots of problems we have to fix. But we've got a positive, optimistic solution to get things back on track. And we've got a track record. People in Surrey know Kevin Falcon. They know what I did in terms of building the Portman Bridge and the South Fraser Perimeter Road and the Surrey Memorial Hospital Tower. And what I want to do is make sure that we get young, educated professionals like Japreet here, who's a lawyer right here in Surrey, that can bring new energy and new perspectives into British Columbians, into the province, that can make the community proud that we've got exceptional candidates like Japreet. And if we do that and we work hard, we will get elected a government that not only is going to promise to do things, but will deliver on doing things like we did as BC Liberals.
And you have a good track record, Kevin, and you alluded to in your speech that about the polls. What do you say about that?
Well, I say just be very careful about polls, because we saw in India where Modi was supposed to win a landslide election. That's what the polls said. That did not happen. We saw in Europe the same thing. They said the alt-right, the extreme right, was supposed to win a big election victory there. They came in third place. So polls are notoriously wrong. What is important is results. I really think that that's what the public cares about. They want to elect people that are not extreme left or extreme right, but mainstream. That's us. BC United, like the BC Liberals, are mainstream. And we're going to get things fixed, and we're going to get the province back on track and make people feel positive about living here again. So their kids aren't leaving BC. They're staying in BC and building a future and raising a family right here.
So, Kevin, BC Conservatives, they are riding on a coattails of a federal Conservative Party.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, what I want your viewers to know is that there is no connection between the provincial Conservative Party of John Rustad's party, and the federal Conservative Party. And most people don't realize that. The John Rustad's party has not elected an MLA in over 50 years in British Columbia. So don't be conned. This is an important election. We want to elect people that have experience and that will know how to fix the problems we face. Not a group of people that are not connected to the federal party at all, but are pretending to be, so they confuse the public.
So my last question is, used to be BC Liberals, now BC United. There's a bit of confusion among the public and the voters. How you will address that issue?
Well, just to make sure you remember Kevin Falcon. Kevin Falcon and BC United is BC Liberal. We have always been BC Liberals, now we're BC United. The reason we changed the name is because we want to unite people. That's very important right now. We want to bring people together in solving the problems we have in British Columbia. And so, whether we were BC Liberals or BC United, Kevin Falcon has been part of both those organizations. It's the same team that's going to get the same good results that we got when we were in power with Gordon Campbell and Christy Clark, and now with Kevin Falcon.
Your final message to our viewers.
Well, I just want to say this, that the South Asian community is such an important community. Hardworking, entrepreneurs, young generation that are doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, professionals, hardworking truckers, taxi drivers, you name it. They cover the whole range, and they're such an important part of our economy. And I want to make sure that they know that Kevin Falcon and BC United are going to work to reduce costs for families, make BC affordable again for families, and deliver on getting big things done again in this province, like we did under Gordon Campbell, like we did under Christy Clark, and like
Kevin Falcon, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ BC United ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਆਫ ਆਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਟੂਰਿਸਟ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਜਪਰੀਤ ਲੇਹਲ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਆਏ। ਬੜੀਆਂ ਖੁੱਲੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਦੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਰੱਖੇ। ਕੈਵਨ ਫਾਲਕਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੈਟਰਨ ਆ ਪੋਲਿਟਿਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਦਿੱਤੇ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ 8 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ NDP ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਸੋਲਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਟਾਲੋ ਬ੍ਰਿਜ ਹੈ 4 ਲੇਨ ਤੋਂ ਫਿਰ 4 ਲੇਨ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਆ। ਮੈਸੀ ਟਨਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਉੱਥੇ 8 ਲੇਨ ਹਾਈਵੇ ਬਣ ਜਾਣੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਉੱਥੇ ਦੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਿਆ। ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਹਾਲੇ ਸਰੀ 'ਚ ਬਣਿਆ ਨਹੀਂਗਾ। ਸੋ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ once I come and become a premier of British Columbia, he will bring that, and he have a track record to prove that, because when he was a transportation minister or minister of deregulation or health minister and then finance minister, he proven and have a proven record. CJ Sidhu reporting from tourist state Surrey, British Columbia.